Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our presentation today. My name is Devinder Kaur. I'm the Director of Distance Learning at Farmingdale State College, and I'm joined today by my colleague, Dr. Maya Bentz, who is a Senior Instructional Designer, also within the Office of Distance Learning at Farmingdale. Our presentation today is about our Faculty Mentor Program for our distance learning faculty specifically. And we're going to give you a little bit of an overview about how this program really came about, how it's evolved, and future in terms of next steps and what we see this program evolving into. So I'm going to proceed the slides, and I'm just going to take off my camera so I can read my notes. So an overview of our main points and discussion for this presentation. We'll briefly highlight the importance of faculty mentorship, provide an overview of our specific DL faculty mentorship program at Farmingdale. We'll talk about the process of how we select mentors, as well as how we orient and train them. We'll provide some examples of their expectations and how they engage with their peers at the college. And we'll also give you an insight on some of the feedback that we received on the program, as well as the next steps that we are looking forward to exploring as part of this program. So the skills and strategies that are required to teach distance education courses really require a great deal of organization on part of the faculty. There's communication, different ways in which to engage students, being accessible to students, knowing when to be a facilitator versus when to be a mentor. And so that's all really important in terms of student success and engagement in the online medium. And faculty motivation, their preparation, the level of support and training that they receive, as well as their confidence and attitudes really impact the quality of not just their course design, but when they are live and delivering those courses. And so the importance of teaching within technology enhanced environments such as distance education programs not only requires training and preparation, which is what we already provide, but also, as we've learned, especially through COVID, is also a focus and a great deal of support that we are extending through our distance learning faculty mentorship program. So let me just kind of tell you how this came about as far as, the need for mentors. The faculty mentor program for distance learning started really in 2020 when, as you are all aware, there was a sudden shift to online due to COVID-related closures. We had somewhere upwards of 700 plus faculty members who needed some type of support in transitioning to fully online, and all of the related issues around online technologies, pedagogies, and student engagement. And at the time, we had 2 full-time instructional designers and 1 part-time instructional designer. And so our office was really overwhelmed and consumed with providing, really just-in-time support and training for faculty who were at all different levels as far as their technical skills and abilities. And as I'm sure you are all experienced with, these varied from experienced online instructors who needed minimal support to faculty who are using the learning management system for the very first time in some cases. And they, of course, are now shifting to this fully online modality. So after the fall 2020 satisfaction survey, we also found that there were requests for more targeted, smaller, grouped training sessions. Faculty wanted to be sort of included in training sessions by skill set. So they wanted to have opportunities where they were also working with the technology that they were learning about. So for example, VoiceThread or web conferencing tools such as Microsoft Teams and Blackboard Collaborate. And the time at this point was really appropriate to utilize our already experienced online faculty members to provide that supplemental support and targeted trainings. And this is always being guided by our office. So they're not, working just alone in limbo with, just doing whatever they want to do. They certainly provide a lot of ideas and input, but we're always supporting and guiding our mentors as well. And so we found this really helped to extend our office's resources and really helped us, in terms of the constraints that we were facing in this very difficult transition and sudden shift to online. So again, this was vital since our office was delivering really daily emergency remote live webinars, and we would see upwards of 80 to 100 faculty members attending these webinars, really trying to get the skills they needed. We were managing the help desk, which was, email, phone, and then providing, obviously support to not just the faculty, but also the college staff and students at large. Another need that came about for the mentors was that SUNY announced that we would be moving and transitioning to a new learning management system, which is currently underway. And we, thought that the mentors program would be vital in providing, piloted support to us to just kind of test out new trainings and new technologies as well. So let me give you a little bit of an overview of our faculty mentors and the profile of what a faculty mentor is. They are an experienced and trained online instructor, and they have completed our 15-week course development program. They've actually developed a fully online course and then taught it for several semesters. Their courses are oftentimes considered exemplars, and they're either approached by our office because obviously we have the experience working with them to serve as mentors, or they're recommended by their dean or chairperson, or sometimes they do self-select and they're interested in participating in this program, and so they come to us and say, I would like to be considered as a faculty mentor if there's an opportunity. They're obviously a group of faculty who are comfortable with technology. They're comfortable trying out new tools for teaching and learning, and they're usually very eager to share their knowledge and experience as well, which is obviously very important in this type of program. They also offer unique perspectives on how to incorporate pedagogies and strategies for student engagement, and obviously that leads to certain success in online programs, and it comes really from their own experience in teaching. And their own unique teaching styles online. So the program has been run in two different ways. One is on a per semester basis, where each faculty member is given a $2,500 stipend. So they work for that semester as a faculty mentor. And more recently, we tried out for an academic year where it ran from fall 2021 to spring 2022, and they were paid $4,000 stipend. And we really, in a time where budgets are constrained, we really fought for these stipends for our faculty mentors because it's vital to compensate them for their time and efforts. And you'll see later on in the presentation from the deliverables that they do provide that this is well-earned stipends. So mentors can offer many different services to their peers, and you can see a list of the type of services that they do offer. They offer, individual sessions. If someone has a quick question, they want to just bounce an idea off of them. It could be small group departmental type meetings. It can, also be college-wide presentations through our Center of Teaching, Learning, and Technology office. And they can also help us utilize new types of technology. So we were doing some live streaming technologies in the fall 2021 semester, and really just helping to provide and incorporate discipline-specific best practices in those online classes. And they can work within their departments, but also, they can work across different departments as well to really kind of give their perspective and experience. So here's an example of the Mentors Program timeline for the 2021-2022 academic year. As you can see, the mentors are expected to meet these milestones and timelines, and we provide them with the schedule and expectations during their orientation, which Maya will give some more insight on shortly. Here's the listings of some of our most recent team of mentors. It's pretty representative of all 4 schools at the college. Although the mentors are from, different major programs at the college, they do target their support one-on-one to peers within their respective departments, but they also work college-wide as well, as I mentioned. So we find this approach works well because faculty members are provided program-specific pedagogical support, but also the general techniques and tips that mentors offer are, further effective and relevant really for course delivery and student engagement all across the college. Maya?
Mentors are required to attend the orientation. During the orientation, the faculty mentors are introduced to the program requirements and deadlines. In summer 2020, during the pandemic campus closure, distance learning created a mentor resources course in Blackboard with links to the remote faculty course template and best practices checklist. Although mentors are experienced online instructors, distance learning provided additional training in Blackboard Learn, Pinocto video platform, web conferencing software applications, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams. Next.
Sorry, there's a little lag.
Mentor Resources course in Blackboard has links to the Mentor Incentives program with requirements and due dates. Faculty mentors prepared presentations for the mentor workshops for the Center for Teaching, Learning and Technology, CTLT, at Farmingdale State College. Mentors posted their presentation topics and descriptions in the shared Google document. Mentor Resources course has links to the online teaching best practices checklist and SUNY resources for teaching online. Mentors created a survey template to distribute it with department faculty asking about current Blackboard learning proficiency and specific training requirements. Next. Dr. Rustener, a mentor from the Automotive Technology Department, developed video tutorials for the School of Engineering Technology faculty, using a tablet in Blackboard and using your phone as a document camera in Blackboard. Farmingdale State College has 3 approved web conferencing software applications: Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams. The comparison table was created to make it easier for faculty to select the right software for their classes.
So the mentors are also expected to submit reports at the end of each of the periods in which they're providing the support and the service. And you can see that their final reports are either submitted at the end of that semester or at the end of that period. And it really provides us a perspective on the amount of trainings they provided, whether they're individual or group trainings, the type of topics that they provided trainings for, and even just, general topics in terms of questions that they might have answered. So we kind of have a grasp on what faculty are going and might have questions about, and that helps us sort of reevaluate and revise our trainings as well. So it's all very relevant, important feedback for us as well. They also provide us comments and suggestions that they might have, because we're also, always looking to make this a better experience for everyone, the mentors included. The mentors provide departmental level workshops, as I mentioned. They provide college-wide workshops through CTLT. I mentioned that as well. So, for example, in the fall of 2021, they provided workshops for us, which were basically, each one was 15 minutes long with a 5-minute Q&A. So in total, each presentation was 20 minutes. And that way we were able to put 2 presentations with an hour time frame. And we found that this was really helpful because it provided our college faculty ample opportunities for participation, while accounting for, Zoom fatigue. Usually, 1-hour presentations can result in, people just like not really paying attention all that much. And so 15 minutes just really offering that content. It was also a challenge for our mentors, but they really rose to that occasion. And we really had good feedback on this format, and we plan to utilize this format going forward in the future for presentations. Our mentors, we presented them with 5 themes that we were interested in, and they came up with the presentation and workshop topics themselves, and we'll provide an overview of that. And, they basically, you can see them listed here: teaching and learning technologies, pedagogical innovations, authentic assessments, strategies for student engagement, nurturing online communities. And they really, I must say, rose to the occasion and provided us phenomenal presentations. And it was a really great collaborative effort between our office and the mentors.
The first theme, teaching and learning technologies, had 2 presenters, Dr. Devlin and Dr. Galloway. The first presenter was Dr. Deanna Devlin, Criminal Justice Department, using VoiceThread for an interactive online classroom experience. Students do not always favor online courses due to the lack of interaction and engagement with their professor and classmates. However, the use of VoiceThread allows for an engaging experience in asynchronous classes. Dr. Devlin provided a tutorial on how to use VoiceThread to bring traditional features of online learning to life. The second presenter was Dr. Galloway, History, Politics, and Geography Department, harnessing the latest technologies trends for teaching online. Many people find teaching online to be challenging, but there are a number of ways to improve online presence. Taking advantage of the latest technologies is a great way to build confidence and improve student learning outcomes. Dr. Galloway discussed innovative teaching technologies such as live streaming options and video creation to help improve online class. The second theme, pedagogical innovations, had two presenters, Dr. Figuccio and Dr. Lotz. The first presenter was Dr. Michael Figuccio, Psychology Department, Google Sites, and e-service learning. E-service learning is an integrative pedagogy that engages learners through technology in civic inquiry, service, reflection, and action. It has been established that students obtain similar learning outcomes in both service learning and e-service learning activities. Dr. Figuccio discussed how Google Sites can be employed in e-service learning projects. Dr. Jason Lotz, English and Humanities Department, presented Decentering the Classroom with Social Media Trends. Teaching remotely showed us that students' personal online presence does not always transfer or contribute to their academic online learning. Dr. Lott's presentation tracked some of the online habits and trends that might be harnessed to decenter the classroom. From reaction videos to the Tell Me Without Telling Me challenge, these social media trends encourage students to access learning materials on their terms and take more responsibility for their learning experiences. The third theme, authentic assessment strategies, had two presenters, Dr. Seifert and Dr. Ustuner. Dr. Jessica Seifert, Biology Department, presented strategies for creating and implementing authentic assessments in science courses. Dr. Seifert covered the course-based implementation of a combination of assessment modalities, low-stakes assessments, traditional high-stakes assessments, and high-stakes authentic assessment. In addition, she covered the benefits and drawbacks of authentic assessment and strategies for incorporating authentic assessments in courses. Dr. Gazda Ustuner, Automotive Technology Department, presented backward design and creative assessment methods. Assessment is a key factor for improving student learning. Backward design offers a unique approach for designing, developing, and improving course curriculum and assessment methods. Dr. Ustuner focused on designing student-centered assessment methods rather than using traditional assessments and encouraging students to actively participate in the assessments that require them to apply the principles and knowledge they have learned in the courses.
The next theme was strategies for student engagement, and the first presenter was Dr. Michael Freyna, and he presented a topic on engaging tools in Blackboard Collaborate, which is a web conferencing tool. And he provided an overview that was really important because it spoke to the accessibility tools that can be used for the Collaborate tool within Blackboard for remote classes, synchronous classes, live streaming classes. And he also provided examples on how to utilize different features such as the polling feature and breakout group rooms as some best practices and how you utilize that in his classes. The next person to address this theme and present on the revisiting student engagement and best practices was Dr. Ji Lee from Computer Systems. And Dr. Lee basically provided a broader view of student engagement and recommended some best practices and really supported those best practices that we bring up within our training program in distance learning. And this really spoke to how a faculty can engage online learners, which is a big challenge when we went fully remote. And she also addressed these challenges of engaging students in live stream classes, basically how to get students to turn cameras on, and all those topics that really became at the center of focus once we were fully remote and online. The next theme was nurturing online communities, and this was presented by Dr. Sherry Manan Singh in the School of Health Sciences nursing program, engaging your virtual community, and how instructors can help really engage students in their classes with one another, but also use other tools such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and how they can really use these different tools in terms of different pedagogical approaches to delivering their content, but also getting students to interact with the content and with one another. The second presentation in this theme was provided by Dr. Ganja Oltiger, and she presented on the topic of strengthening online classroom community through peer modeling and peer-to-peer connection. And this was really that student-to-student connection and what it means in terms of an online learning environment and how important it is. And so she provided really great ideas, formats that can be included that other faculty can utilize in their online classes, and how to create those peer-to-peer connections and furthering that theme of nurturing online communities and engagement. So I wanted to share with you at this point some feedback that we received from the faculty who were mentoring, as well as the faculty who are receiving the mentoring services. And this is important, if it's from the summer of 2020, and it was, again, a very tumultuous time for us and many other institutions, essentially. And it was great to get this feedback, which we obviously share every semester with our provost's office because the funding is given from them. So it's important to share that feedback with them, just in terms of the positive experience they had, how they got a chance to work individually, and everything very basic, from uploading materials like a syllabus to how to share content during a collaborate session. And faculty were really hoping that we would extend the mentoring program beyond that summer semester, which thankfully we did get that approval. We really thought that this feedback brought kind of everything, summarized everything really nicely. So I just want to read it out. The sense of barely staying on top of the remote teaching requirements seems to have been widespread. Instructors were committed to serving their students and felt their efforts left no time and energy to innovate or experiment with the various tools available in Blackboard. Ironically, the workshops offered might have helped faculty save time. For example, several instructors described the burden of collecting assignments by email when Blackboard provides a much more efficient means of managing homework, essays, and exams. But the prospect of yet another training session and yet another technology intimidated many and left them content with a let's just get through this term philosophy. So again, this really kind of speaks to the level of support our mentors provided and the spectrum of skill set that we were dealing with in terms of faculty experience and skills with technology. So what are the next steps? Aside from this administrative oversight and the features of the distance learning faculty mentorship program, there's a great deal of potential in how this program can evolve, and we hope it will continue to evolve and encourage and support all faculty at the college, not just online faculty. We feel that it is informative for all faculty teaching even face-to-face courses that might be utilizing technology to enhance their courses. DL faculty mentors have also expressed professional fulfillment and pride in being able to be part of this group, and their peer recipients of those services have acknowledged the importance of having a faculty peer mentor to bounce ideas off of or develop engagement strategies with, and just basically a colleague to help promote their teaching at the college. So, we are really hoping that this program will continue to grow and in the future, even produce some research findings that we can show further evidence of its effectiveness. And we look forward to not just working with our faculty mentors, and obviously we thank them for their time and commitment, but we will also have a new director of the CTLT area, who will work with basically all faculty on campus. And so we're looking for a way for this faculty mentorship program to extend and evolve beyond just online with that focus, but also expanding on that as well. And that is the presentation. So if there's any questions, we would be happy to take them at this time.
Please feel free to type your questions under discussions forum. Davinder, so question is, how will you continue to sustain funding? And please click on maybe microphone.
Okay, great. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right, wonderful. So the funding basically comes from our provost office, and that's why those reports from the mentors are very important, because it shows evidence of, you know, what their activities have been, also, you know, providing feedback. What we would like to do is also provide a survey to the faculty who receive the mentoring or take advantage of the mentoring services, so we can provide further evidence of how effective they are. But the funding does come from the provost office, and every semester I do go to them and show these reports and share the feedback, and really just kind of extend that goodwill and hopefully, you know, they're kind of enough to provide the continued funding for this program. Thank you, Kathleen, for your question. Any other questions? So if there are no questions, I'll just type my email into the chat if anyone wanted to follow up, or just, you know, talk about the mentorship program and how we got it really started, and any other administrative sort of, you know, ways in which we organize it, in which we deliver it. We'd be happy to share our experience. Okay, we've got 2 minutes until the end. I think that's all the questions we have. Thank you, everyone, for a wonderful presentation, and thank you for joining us today. Oh, wonderful. It is, yes. I think the faculty really appreciate it, Kathleen. Thank you.
Thank you.